ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Monday. Only a few officials and torchbearers will be allowed inside the stadium for the 2020 Olympic flame handover ceremony set for this week in Athens, Greece. This is just one of many precautionary steps taken by the Atlantic Olympic Committee to protect everyone from the coronavirus. Japan is also scaling down as it relates to Tokyo 2020's Flame of Recovery tour. The Bahamas Olympic Committee also taking the necessary steps to ensure that our athletes are safe. Joining me live in studio tonight is Secretary General in the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Deron Donaldson. Good night, Mr. Donaldson. Are there any new updates as it relates to the hosting of the 2020 Olympic Games? I know a lot of people are, susceptible about if it's going to happen or is it going to be postponed?
Well, just like all of us, we're waiting and seeing. We don't want to speak out of turn and preempt anything too early. The IOC is in complete control of this, along with the World Health Organizations. And I mean, everyone's just monitoring. I understand that the IOC may be having a meeting this week. And as they release information, we will automatically, the world will know, and we'll definitely officially release on our letterhead what's the position of the IOC.
As it relates to our athletes, the communication between them and you as the BOC Secretary General, is there any communication going on?
Well, definitely. There's communication going from us straight to the member federation because, we keep the protocol in place that we communicate directly to the national federations, and we know that they are definitely going to disseminate the information to all of their members, which are inclusive of athletes and coaches.
With a confirmed case in Jamaica, I know we have a number of our elite athletes training down in Jamaica. What is the plan? Are we in communication with them, or are they in communication with the Jamaican Olympic Committee? What is the protocol for that?
Well, the protocol, again, would be if they want to reach out to anyone, it would be to their national federation president. So if they're in athletics, they would, of course, reach out to the B3As. However, under any NOC jurisdiction where our athletes are training, I'm sure they're following the updates from the Jamaican Olympic Committee there, as well as following the World Health Organizations, and they should be told to also make sure they keep track to not fake news, but reputable news sources in Jamaica, as well as monitoring home. And you guys live stream, so they can see this as well now.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Donaldson. That was a live update from Secretary General in the Bahamas Olympic Committee about the coronavirus and the effects on our Bahamian athletes. Players of the Bahamas Flag Football League were able to play 6 games on Sunday before suspending their season indefinitely, pulling in the first win of the season where the Spartans, who defeated the nation 13-7. The Lions beat the Avengers 12-10, and the Hitmen and Predators were all tied up at 9 with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining in the game. That game was stopped due to limited lighting. In the women's play, the Eagles shut out the Hawks 6-0. The Wildcats clawed the Lady Avengers 29-0. And the Pink Panthers beat the Lady Jaguars 13-0. Also from the Football League, the 6 games in the league were played before the Prime Minister's
As of last evening, we have suspended all play indefinitely. Of course, this was due to the announcement of the coronavirus and the Prime Minister's appeal to all sporting bodies to cease sports within the country, as well as social gatherings. So in an effort to support and prevent the spread of the coronavirus, we've decided to suspend our league indefinitely, and we've asked all of our teams to also cease practices in this regard. So at this point, we don't know when we will restart. However, we have 11 more weeks in the season to go, and as soon as we get the all clear, we definitely will get things running again.
Track and field usually takes center stage in the spring season, but with the country confirming its first case of coronavirus, all sporting activities has ceased. This is also the standard around the region. The Carifta Track and Field Championships, the premier meet in the region for junior athletes, has also been postponed due to COVID-19. Breaking the news to the track and field fraternity was president of B3A's Jamaica Archer. He was unable to join me live in studio tonight, but Mr. Rupert Gardner, a longtime serving coach and member of the B3As, is here. Good night, Mr. Gardner.
Good night.
I can only imagine how difficult it was, to break the news to our young junior athletes that Carifta Games was postponed. Were you there when the news was said to them, and what was the reaction?
Well, what happened is that all the athletes was disappointed, the junior athletes disappointed. Even the coaches was disappointed because when you look at training from September up to now, and now the Grifter Games is postponed, everybody's disappointed, especially, like I said, our junior athletes. But now, like we have Mr. Mike Sands, who's president of the NACA. I'm sure he will come up with a date with the region when they'll have it later down in the year. I think they're talking about June or July to have it. So it still looks like the Grifter Game is going to happen.
With the postponement, can we see a number of record-breaking or performances? Do you think it will be a better performances from our junior athletes all around the region?
Well, if you don't compete, you're not going to run fast, and you have to compete and track meets so the coaches can see exactly where you're at. And if you don't compete, nothing's going to happen. So I don't think the performance is going to be that outstanding.
A lot of coaches prepare their athletes for the Easter weekend. It's called peak season for our junior athletes. As a former coach, is that a good thing to do, not knowing if the meets will be postponed or suspended?
No, it's not a good thing because right now, I was at the Sports Center today and it was like empty. And the coaches don't know exactly what to do because if you look all around the United States, all the big meets are canceled. The Florida relays are canceled. The Penn relays now canceled. The NCAA suspend all the track meets. So it's very difficult to know exactly what's going to happen at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rupert Gardner. That was a live update from the B3A standpoint. Well, that's all the time we have for sports for this Monday. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.